So Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White herself did not travel with the team to Chicago, which leads people to believe that she might not be there for the game, Hamby. But what does this mean for the Indiana Fever? What does this mean for the upcoming game in Chicago? And who will be stepping into this role? It is pretty obvious that...
Here's a rewritten version of your transcript, tailored for a 30 to 70 audience with clear, catchy, and natural language. What if I told you Caitlin Clark's next big move isn't hitting three-pointers, but possibly calling the shots from the sidelines? That's right, there's buzz going around that the Indiana Fever might actually let her step into a coaching role for their upcoming game against the Chicago Sky. Is she about to coach the team herself? Did the head coach really just say, "Alright Caitlin, it's your turn, get ready"? This twist sounds like something straight out of a sports comedy.
So, lads, basically, the Indiana Fever coach is like, well, we don't know. That's reality is, we don't know who's going to be coaching. We don't know whether Stephanie White's going to be coaching, but the plan is there if Stephanie White is not going to be there. And I think maybe...
So here we are, Caitlin Clark, fresh off an injury and barely back in uniform, might now be running the show from the sidelines. Yep, instead of just playing, she could be the one calling the plays, like a mix of Phil Jackson and Ted Lasso. Why? Because head coach Stephanie White is nowhere to be seen. She's not in the building, gone. No, she didn't fall into some WNBA time warp. It's just one of those can't make it situations, which in basketball usually means, let's all pretend this was part of the plan.
Okay, so first of all, we do not know why Stephanie White is going to be out. It is officially listed as personal reasons, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but back in October, she also was dealing with a tragedy, assuming it might have been like a close passing of someone to her, which was also around the time that she was in contention for being named head coach of the Indiana Fever. So that was probably a whirlwind of a time for Stephanie White. And first and foremost, we just want to make sure that she is doing okay and wishing her all the best. Because it is not very common for a coach to miss a game. I don't think it happened once last season. It has not happened this season.
With Coach White out, you'd expect the Fever to have a solid backup plan, maybe even a plan C. But instead, they seem to have skipped the whole alphabet and said, hey, what if our rookie runs the show? That's right. The coaching bench is so short right now, it's starting to look like a weekend rec league. So who's stepping up with the clipboard? You guessed it, Caitlin, I've been here 5 minutes, Clark.
About being away for a period of time. Which means, look, I'd say whatever reasons brought her to Indiana in the first place, like, might take her out of a few games, might keep her close at home, might keep her not going to games. And look, at the end of the day, there's more important things than basketball. And if that is the case, then obviously the it's just obviously it is like they know what they're getting themselves into. They know what they're getting themselves into. They know what it is, and they know that they've got a good staff.
Here's a polished and engaging rewrite of your final paragraph. And this isn't just any game, this is the game. The one everyone's been waiting for, Clark versus Reese. Caitlin Clark going head-to-head with Angel Reese in round 2 of what could easily turn into a 10-part basketball rivalry, complete with a championship, a documentary, and maybe even a Broadway show. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more dramatic, the Fever crank up the chaos and say, what if Caitlin coached herself too?
Hello everyone. So Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever, the head coach, will not be at tomorrow's game against the Chicago Sky. It's been cited for personal reasons. Who knows if somebody in her family is sick, mom and dad, maybe older, medical emergency, who knows. Hopefully even Stephanie's okay. But when it comes down to it, this upcoming game is a game. You got no Caitlin Clark, no Sophie Cunningham, but you never know.
Just picture the locker room. Caitlin's in there like, alright ladies, we need to hustle on defense, crash the boards, and also, can someone remind me what play number 3 is? I may have totally blanked during the strategy session. And this isn't some low-stakes game. She's up against the Chicago Sky, led by Angel, block shots and feelings, Reese, who's probably watching all this unfold like, oh, so now we're doing improv? Reese has been waiting for this matchup since draft day. She's laser-focused and already has her post-game celebration dance ready. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's on the sideline, sketching plays on a whiteboard titled "Please Don't Panic," saying, "If we just believe in ourselves, something good might happen." The assistant coach, whose name no one remembers because she was hired about 14 minutes ago, is just nodding along, totally on board. Caitlyn's basically doing it all: running point, calling defensive switches, checking the water bottles, and reminding everyone she's also playing in the game. At this point, it's like casting the star of the school play to also direct, handle costumes, and mop the stage. Honestly, if someone twists an ankle, Caitlyn might just become the team's new trainer too.
Factors of tomorrow's game is the fact that Caitlin Clark, guys, is still, she is still out due to injury protocol, I believe she had a lower leg calf muscle strain, right? But there's been an update, she just updated everybody, the Fever fans and all of the other WNBA fans, about potentially coming back Tuesday, which is not tomorrow. But let's just see what Caitlin Clark has to say. This is an article brought to you by Sports Illustrated titled "Caitlin Clark Shares Update on Her Injury and Potential Return." Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark offered an update on her quadriceps injury on Thursday.
Let's be real, the WNBA's had its fair share of drama lately. But this is next level. It's Shakespeare in sneakers. We've got two rookie superstars about to square off on national TV, and one of them might actually be in charge of running the timeouts. Imagine the third quarter huddle. Caitlyn says, "Okay, I'm pulling myself out, coaching myself back in, and subbing in my favorite snack because we're out of players." But don't count her out. Caitlin Clark is built differently. You don't make it through brutal Iowa winters and come out average. You come out like Caitlyn, tough, calm, and somehow always in shooting range. So yeah, it might sound wild for her to be both playing and coaching, but you just know she's kind of thriving. She probably has a color-coded notebook titled "Things I'm Better At Than Most Coaches," and it's 86 pages deep. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is polishing her invisible crown, ready to make someone's week miserable. She's got that smirk that says, "Bring your best, Coach Clark, or I'm dropping 20 points and blocking your whole confidence." And she's not just bringing skills, she's bringing attitude, energy, and a mission that could light up the whole arena.
They'll be all right. They've got Stephanie White, and I understand Stephanie White is their coach. I think they'll be okay. If Caitlyn was there, I'd be very confident. It's as simple as that. If Caitlyn was there, I would be extremely confident that they would win this game. I would be super confident. However, without Caitlyn, you know what? Ari McDonald's there. How much do we trust we put in Ari McDonald? A bit.
And the fans? Oh, they're loving it. Twitter's in full meltdown mode. Analysts are already breaking down Caitlin Clark's coaching style like she's Popovich, with better hair. Notice how she calls for a high screen, glances at her Fitbit, and drains a deep three, all while managing substitutions. It's beautiful chaos. It's reality TV disguised as basketball. It's everything we didn't know we needed, and we haven't even gotten to the bench reactions. You know there'll be one teammate fully locked into Caitlyn's pep talk like, "Yes ma'am, preach." Meanwhile, someone else is sitting there thinking, "Wait, why is my rookie teammate telling me to run suicides?" That's the Caitlin Clark effect. A player-coach hybrid who might just be inventing a brand new WNBA role on the fly. And here's the wild part: what if it works? What if she calls perfect plays, manages minutes like a seasoned pro, and leads the Fever to a win over Angel Reese and the Sky? If that happens, guess what? She's running the show from here on out. Next week, she's not just coaching, she's handling payroll, designing uniforms, and probably driving the team bus. But if it all falls apart, if the Fever lose in dramatic, meme-worthy fashion with Caitlyn coaching her own meltdown, well, congratulations. You're watching the most talked about blooper reel in WNBA history.
So, lads, this is not an ideal situation. It is not an ideal situation at all for the Indiana Fever. There are some positives, there are some negatives. However, Stephanie White, as of right now, is currently looking like she may not be there tomorrow in Chicago for the game.
And honestly, even that would be a win, for the internet, at least. But let's be real, this is bigger than just a game. It's pure entertainment. It's drama, rivalries, surprise twists, and full-on Gen Z flair, all packed into a highlight reel. It's Caitlin Clark stepping into the "fine, I'll do it myself" role. It's Angel Reese showing up with "hope you brought snacks, because I'm about to feast" energy. It's assistant coaches trying not to panic while Caitlin rewrites the playbook on the fly. Yes, Coach Stephanie White is out, and the Fever's coaching staff is being held together with duct tape and a prayer. But fans? Fans are getting a front row seat to something unforgettable, because no matter how it ends, win, lose, or total chaos, this game is going to be legendary. Somewhere backstage, a Fever intern is probably Googling, can a rookie win Rookie of the Year and Coach of the Year at the same time? Now just imagine the madness if Caitlin Clark doesn't even play major minutes, and still leads the team to a win over Angel Reese. Like she's just chilling in the coach's chair, arms crossed, calling plays, and walking away with a W. Are we even ready for that? That's like LeBron winning a finals game while running the scoreboard and handing out Gatorade. It's basketball blasphemy, in the best way possible.
Stay healthy, okay? And again, I want to see Caitlin Clark come back. I ain't gonna lie, I love watching. The only reason why, she's not the only reason why I watch Indiana Fever games, but I have noticed that when I watch Indiana Fever games, it's not as exciting without Caitlin Clark. Let's keep it real. Again, Kelsey Mitchell is a powerhouse. I love watching her. I enjoy watching Aaliyah Boston. I enjoy watching Sophie Cunningham. I enjoy watching Lexi Hall, Dante Samaras, etc., all these women. But when you see them playing with Caitlin Clark leading them on that floor court, on the basketball court, the whole momentum, the whole intensity, it's like they're that much more tenacious and vicious. They got that, they just got that overall more ambitious and ambition and drive in them, due to...
Picture this, Angel Reese walks into the arena fired up, ready for a head-to-head battle with Caitlin Clark, only to realize, wait, Caitlin's not even starting, nope. She's got the clipboard, the headset, and probably a laminated "Don't Panic" sheet she whipped up in Microsoft Word 5 minutes before tip-off, and yet, somehow, the Fever come out on fire, hitting shots like they're trying to avenge every bad Yelp review in Indiana. Caitlin's on the sideline drawing up inbounds plays like she invented basketball this morning and held a crash course over breakfast.by halftime. Angel Reese is throwing side eyes at the Fever bench like, okay, who's calling these plays? And someone has to tell her, yeah, that's Clark. She's not playing against you, she's playing with you. And honestly, that's worse. Getting outplayed is one thing. Getting outcoached by someone your age, who's barely had time to memorize her own playbook, is a whole different kind of reality check. Now imagine the cameras cutting to Clark, calmly scribbling notes while Angel Reese is sweating, trying to make sense of how the Fever just ran a triangle offense with only 2 players. Clark? She's cool as ever. No yelling, no stress, just sipping coconut water and flashing that "I told you so" smirk, like she's already 2 plays ahead of the game, and 1 step outside the space-time continuum.
It is pretty obvious that the assistant coach, Austin Kelly, will be stepping it up, as will the other. I think everybody in the assistants rung will be just like stepping up one more step to take on more responsibilities. Steph White actually talked to Chloe Peterson and said, "My staff is so good and trusting in them that if I need to be away for a period of time, it's status quo. Our team knows that. They have a great respect for them, and I know that, and I trust them implicitly. So it gives even more peace of mind." So who...
And just to turn up the heat, imagine Caitlin checking herself into the game with 90 seconds left, not because the team needs her, but just to make a statement. She drains a logo 3, winks at Angel Reese, calls a timeout, then benches herself. Game over. Fever win. That's not just basketball, that's a villain origin story. It's the kind of moment that lives forever in sports memes and high school pep talks. Now kids, remember, if Caitlin Clark can beat Angel Reese without even really playing, then yes, you can definitely pass algebra. It flips the rookie story on its head. She was supposed to learn from the veterans, not run the whole show. But here we are, and don't even try to imagine what this would do to the Clark-Reese rivalry. It'd go nuclear. Angel's whole storyline would need rewriting. Chapter 1, I blocked her shot. Chapter 2, she coached my team into the ground. Without breaking a sweat, the shade would be next level. We're talking post-game interviews so full of shade you'd need night vision goggles just to see through it. Honestly, if Caitlin Clark can win as a coach, she might never go back to just playing. She might say, playing's cute, but I prefer orchestrating wins like a basketball overlord. The league wouldn't even know how to handle it. MVP ballots? Just a big yes next to every category.
Again this week, but right now there's going to be some explosive testimonies today, including Capricorn Clark. That we will hear from a man named Lance.
Who is Capricorn Clark, for people that don't know?
Capricorn Clark is a previous personal assistant of Diddy's, but she has come up in this case and in this hearing almost every single day that I've been there, because she was around and has witnessed so much. She is the woman that Kid Cudi alleges called her and said, "Hey, Diddy's at your house." She's the woman that is alleging that Diddy made her get in the car with.
It's ridiculous. It's amazing. It's downright stupendous. Because beating your biggest rival while wearing sneakers is one thing, but doing it while rocking a headset? That's pure basketball magic. Meanwhile, over with the Chicago Sky, Angel Reese is working up a full sweat during warm-ups, hammering her layups like she has a personal grudge against the backboard. She's going 3 for 10 on wide-open shots but still nodding like she's shooting a perfect 100%, while the rim's basically begging, "Ma'am, please calm down." Because let's be honest, 30% shooting inside the paint isn't just rough, it's existentially rough. Especially when your rival isn't even suiting up and still somehow stomping you from the sidelines. Angel's grinding through practice reps, headphones on, music blasting, staring down the hoop like it owes her money. She's imagining the moment she drops 20 points on Caitlin Clark, except Caitlin won't even be in uniform. She's not lacing up. She's sitting out, probably icing her ankle, sipping vitamin water, and calling plays like she's coaching a Final Four team instead of managing an injury report. Then the game starts. Reese checks in like she's got something to prove, which she absolutely does, and Caitlin. She's over there with a clipboard, doing everything short of building a chessboard on the scorer's table.
The amount of self-sabotage occurring in the WNBA right now is insane. Caitlin Clark is rapidly becoming an all-time great. She is doing things in less than 50 games that took other players hundreds of games to do. But more important than her accolades is the fact that she puts butts in seats. She makes people tune in to the WNBA. And all that the rest of that league seems to be able to do is complain. And some people are taking the angle of it's a race thing. I don't think it is. I really don't. I think it's a jealousy thing. I think it's an envy thing. They're jealous that one player, one person, was able to breathe life into women's basketball, into that.